morning, good morning, peaceful rising, grand rising. Hey, all my elevators. So today is day 79 for me in shadow work. It may not be, nothing major to y'all, but y'all have no idea some of the things that I've realized about myself, some of the lessons, that I've experienced during this time. I've lost people during this time. I've gained some people during this time, but more importantly than any relationship that I could have gained with someone else, I've definitely gained a different learning, understanding, and appreciation for myself. With that, I just stopped by because I work in an environment where I'm the minority. And majority of the people that I work with are from either Indian or African culture. So there aren't many blacks. Like, we have 2 blacks, me and another lady. But the African culture, what I have noticed about them, and I thought it was really neat the way they migrate together. So when one gets a job, they bring in the entire family. So their cousins, aunts, they working with each other. So they tell, someone else about a job and bring everybody else on. Get them on, tell the managers, hey, I'm endorsing this person. Fuck nepotism, but they bring them on. But that's something that I like about it, because to me it shows community. The other part about working with them is they'll come to you for advice on how to do the job. How do I do this? What should I say here? Can you train me on this? Can you help me with this? But the moment that they no longer need you, they go back to community. So they have learned how to come in, get what they need from whoever that is, and they go back to their community. So I learned something from that. When we learn something, African Americans, people, I'll just say, who were raised in the American culture, we don't get what we need and go back to the community. We get what we need and we move out to the suburbs, or we get a better job, or we start to think that our jobs put us in a different social class. We start to act and do and live according to the way that social class can afford for us to live. So I started to look at myself with that, and I was like, well, have I gotten, my credentials, my education, and my whatever, and did I take it back to the community? Well, no. I don't know that I always want to live in the community. However, I do things in the community. The community does, get my money. I do support black businesses. I do, endorse my African American sisters who are doing certain things. If I buy a product, I will do that. But we were not taught, and I'll say me, I was not taught the sense of family and community, what that means, what it looks like, being able to call, a sister or a brother, helping them out, giving them, like the shirt, off your back, telling them information to get them a job, giving them the game before they get there. I've really learned that there's a huge difference in their value system than, what I have or was ever taught. So just, a little tidbit and a nugget that if there is something, that you can do, whether it's big or small, to kind of turn this thing around for us so that we can get back to community, we can get back to family. And it starts in our own home. So maybe eating dinner together, maybe talking about the day, maybe just sitting having a conversation, with your kids, maybe taking a ride, maybe allowing your children to see you go visit a sibling or, an uncle or an aunt or a grandmother, or doing a nice gesture. But we have to get back to those Sunday dinners with the family. If you go to church, going to church together, going to dinner together, having that unity time, having that connection time, having that love time, being able to love on one another openly, and that's a beautiful thing. And we have to get back to your problems and your issues. But I believe that whatever they were taught to kind of overlook some things, or they were taught how to navigate through this person is having a bad day, or they're being ugly right now. Maybe they just overlook it, because I know that we all have days. You know, when I think about, can I live with, you know, my sister and my brother, or my mom, and, you know, like in a family home? Well, honey, I don't know. You know, but part of that is because I've grown accustomed to being alone and being by myself. But we have to be able to put things to bed if it gets in the way of us building and establishing this community. So how do we go back to the whole it takes a village perspective? How do we get back to the basics, get back to where we came from, where we started from? That's the $1 million question. So for me, I think I'll start with me. I'll start in the home. I will start by, I think I should start by visiting more, like going to see people. I call people, but I don't go visit. So I think starting with that could absolutely build community for me. And then I'll start to extend invitations out. Hey, you want to go walking? You want to go grab a drink? I'm going to a meditation. You want to join me? I'm going to yoga today. You know, it might be sporadic things. It may be planned things, but who knows? But I just think availing myself to certain people and being available and being the things that I want people to be for me will establish community for me. So until the next video, you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for supporting me. The Elevate movement is doing some really big things, from podcasts to a book to public speaking, hosting different events and open forums where people can freely dialogue about some things. So there's definitely some things on the horizon for me. Until the next video, you guys have a great day and continue to elevate. I love you all.